Hello, welcome to DreamCraft. Did a few things off camera before recording on this server. Like get some iron armor and a very little basic hole to sit in during nighttime so that I don't die. This series is gonna be mostly just building, probably time lapses, and that's what we're about to do. We're gonna be building a little village here in this crater, a little fairy village. And we're gonna have some beehives as like the population, like bees flying around and kind of living in it like fairies. It's the closest I can think of a fairy, even though they're kind of a little bit big and chunky. But that's okay, they're so adorable. First thing we should probably do is build a house. I just have to figure out how to. And in light of this tiny hole that I'm living in, I should probably build it here. Maybe a cute little hut. I don't know if I want to tear this hill down though, because it is really nice looking. It's going up the hillside, but it is a really thin, ugly thing. Doesn't look very good. Let's clear out the trees around here and then discuss whether we should keep this pillar or not. So during this little time lapse of me chopping down trees, I want to take some time to say thanks for stopping by and watching the video, and all the new subscribers I've gotten within the last month. I'm sorry I haven't been able to upload or record the Secrets of Hyrule time lapses. I really do enjoy it, and I have been slowly working on more, but the project is just so big, and I hurt my wrist. I actually fractured it. I can't remember what part of the bone I fractured, but the doctor said it was very serious and that I should be taking it easy. So I've been taking a break from that, and it's been getting a little bit better. I only just recently got it checked out, but it still feels a lot better than a month ago. I plan on, in this series of DreamCraft, working on a fairy forest. I said that a little bit earlier, but I'm pretty bad at speaking during recording, so it might have been hard to understand. On that note, I would like to ask, it would be very appreciative too, if you guys could give me feedback on my talking while recording. I've never talked and recorded at the same time, so I'm pretty bad at it. So if you guys could give me feedback, I would really appreciate that, and it'd help me make my videos a lot better. Okay, now with all the trees around the hill mined and everything just decaying a little bit, we kind of judge the area. We also got a surprising amount of apples. Well, not a surprising amount, but got more apples than I expected. And judging by this hill, I really don't like it. I don't know what I could do with it. Hey, there's another apple. It's neat. But there isn't much I can do with this hill. It's kind of barren and boring, even with those trees that kind of sucked. And this pond here kind of sucks, but I do like how it's on 2 different layers. So I might terraform around here. Make it a bit smoother. Make that flow in. Just planning what I'll do. I think I'm gonna make this flow in, Make this a proper lake. Get rid of these 2 trees. And terraform this entire hill away. It's going to be a bit annoying without a diamond shovel, but it's something I can bear with since I don't have one quite yet. I'll do this in the form of a 3rd-person time lapse, and hopefully it won't take too long, but I'm guessing it will without in efficiency 5. Okay, I know I said we would discuss the pillar, but it just looked so ugly. I had to get rid of it. This pond here also looked pretty bad, but I liked it enough to keep it. And I thought these 2 bodies of water would look good if I connected them together. Aside from that, I kind of made it look like it flowed into that little pond and made it look a little bit better than it did. And then I got rid of these flowers here, so I had a nice clean landscape to work with. I dug out a 3 by whatever that is hole so I can kind of see the layers and how I want the hill to transition. How I decided that was I went to the top of the hill and I dug 4 blocks down, or 3 blocks down, one of those 2, and just completely brought it to each side. And I just built it up so that I had a nice little hill. I realized this mountain over here was really gonna be a problem. I didn't really know what to do with it. It's so steep, it's hard to build with, and it's hard to terraform around because natural vanilla landscape had it perfect. And then once I start terraforming to make everything lower down than it already was, it became really difficult. So I decided to go with this kind of style of a 2 by 2 kind of square layers going up, and later on I'll put something on those 2 by 2s. But I figured if I brought that all the way up to the top of the mountain, it would look man-made, but it would be a nice little design choice that might look good in the future. And if it doesn't, I can get rid of it. Okay, seems I've finished half of the terraforming. I'll try to throw up a before and after picture. Actually, let me take an after picture with my camera account right now. And then I'll explain some of the things I did, even though you just saw it all. But I have this little pool. I'll explain what I did, and I'll explain what my brain is thinking. Especially that right there, because it looks kind of crazy, but it's just an experiment, and if it doesn't work out, I'm going to remove it and just make it into a normal mountainside. I really don't like how that edge looks. It doesn't look great, but I'll explain what I'm thinking, and then we'll try it out, and if it doesn't work out, we'll just get rid of it. But let's start over here, the first area. I was thinking, let's have a nice little pool of water. Since it was here already, it was just a little bit bigger. I just shrunk it down a bit and then made it more round. And I added this river going through, since the water goes as far as I can see over there. And it goes over there. So I'm thinking eventually, if it doesn't already, I'll make it go around the mountain. I can't really explain it to you, but it'll probably go around this mountain eventually. But for now, this works. And I gotta get rid of this grass block. There we go. And it just flows into this little pond. And once I get rid of all this dirt, next episode, get rid of all this dirt, there'll be a nice little pond here. And then we'll experiment with that slope side. Over here, we'll experiment with that slope side next episode, and if it works, we'll build it on this side. But there'll be a pond up here. It'll flow into that pond and that river. And then there'll be a pond down here also. That way, it'll be like a centralized pond. My starting base will be in front of the centralized pond. And it'll just be all connected up and it'll be nice and pretty. Nice and pretty. But for now, we kind of just divided it off. We built the pond, cut it off, and worked on this side only. I can show you on the camera account. It's nice and big and cleared out. Perfect for us to work with. This hillside, if you couldn't tell in the camera, it's kind of a 2 by 2 up. So think of little floating cube, like a little cube. So each one is a little cube or rectangle that just goes all the way up. So 2, 2, 2. The one thing I don't like is the harsh angle, since it's not kind of natural. You can see the squares on that side, which I might try to fix a little bit. If I just get rid of some spots, it might help a little bit with the harshness of that steep slope. But I'm planning on putting wheat up there anyway, little wheat seeds, so it'll look a little bit better. It doesn't look like much because I haven't been able to plant wheat all the way up, but I have gotten it all hoed and all the water in. There's still a bit of cobblestone laying around from where I broke blocks, but it goes all the way up, and up here it's still hydrating because this is the latest row I did. And it goes all the way down, and we're gonna plant wheat all the way to the top. And I just gotta finish this one last top row, and I figured I'd do it on camera so you guys could see how I did this and how I did it. Obviously it's a little bit harder up here because there isn't as much place to put the water underneath. But I basically just dug in between the two layers and took my sweet time over it. And I ho ho, and then hoed some more. And I'm thinking right here, I'm gonna chop this tree, put the water right there, and that should be good. Besides that, everything should be finished. There we go, that's hydrating. This should be hydrating. All that's pretty much hydrated. Then I think we're all good. I just want to say thank you so much for watching. Sorry if my voice is a little bit hoarse. I've been sick for the last couple of days. I'm just now getting over the sickness. I'm kind of just getting better in the last day or two, and my voice has been a little bit hoarse and hurting. But if you enjoyed the format of time-lapse talk, let me know in the comments below, and we'll try to stick with that. We'll do that. Or if you don't like me talking, which I understand, I don't have that great of a voice, then just let me know and I'll stick to just time lapses. Oh, seems like this didn't stay hoed, so I'll re-hoe that later. But I hope you did enjoy, and I'll see you all later in DreamCraft. I'll see you all in your dreams. In a couple days. I gotta rest up. My wrist is still broken. I'll tell you guys about that next episode. Have a good evening. Have a good night. And I'll see ya on the next episode.